Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Curtis Podcast Network here on this AFC South show 168 as we preview week 8. It's been a busy week for us all, kind of got pushed back a little bit, but glad you're with us. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe button, trying to grow the channel. We're at 534 at the time of this recording. Like to see that number keep climbing. While you're at it, go visit all of our individual team pods. That Real Texas Team Podcast, Third and Teal, Unstabled, and Titans Takeaways. Go like and subscribe to all of those. Hit the notification bells, please. With me, as always, here on the channel, my resident Jags fan. We call Isaiah, El Beardo, the Glitter Kitty Conquistador, and the Hurricane Tamer. Isaiah, what's going on, brother?
Not too much. Just living every day of my life, taming hurricanes, kittying on the glitter and glittering on the kitty. I just
What a mental image.
can't stop taking W's. What can I say?
Yeah.
I wish my team could say the same, but we're hoping to build on that this week, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Down here at the bottom, we got Big Steck. You can catch him over on Unstabled. But Jeff, what's crack-lacking? I know it's difficult to get people to come watch the damn Colts pod, so go watch the damn Colts pods. Just go do it. Just
do
watch
it. Hey, we gained 2 subscribers in the last day, so we're up to 67.
67. It's 2 away from a really nice number.
I know, right?
That's reason enough to go watch the pod.
I'm excited, man. I'm got the Texans game coming up, going to it. Got Justin, who's also on Unstable, going. Mike from that Real Texas Team podcast. So hopefully link up with all of them.
Yeah, you can abbreviate it. TRTTP.
TRTTP. What?
TRTTP.
TP.
Toilet paper. And then not with us this evening is Austin or Blake, who would be our Titans guy. But we will do our best to talk about the 11-point dogs, the Tennessee Titans against the Lions. We'll get into that later, as well as all the other games in the AFC South. So first, let's talk injuries. I'll lead off with the Texans' injuries. Azeez Al-Shaair, Ford are officially ruled out. Henry To'oTo'o is questionable. Those are the only 3 names that are not available or potentially not available. Lassiter's coming back. Robert Woods is coming back. Fotokasi comes in with no injury designation. Titus Howard, full participant today. So, we're coming back pretty healthy. We did bring in Devin White to kind of shore up the linebacker room while Azeez, Henry T, and Christian Harris are unavailable. It does, draw some questions as maybe exactly when are we going to see Christian Harris, if at all. So lots of things afoot here. Jeff?
It's a long injury report, but it's a good one. And most of the people are fully participating or rest days. Buckner came back. Looks like he'll be a go. Jonathan Taylor has no designation, so he'll go. EJ Speed, Doolin, Braden Smith, Pittman, Lamons, Kelly, Downs, all should be good to go. The only 2 out are Jannard Avery and Jalen Carleys, which I wouldn't say it's a huge loss, but I mean, it'd be nice to be completely healthy. But it seems like the Colts are getting healthy at the perfect time for what's going to be probably the toughest part of their schedule. So it's good to see everybody kind of back to full strength.
Okay, Isaiah?
Yeah, as I mentioned before the pod, ETN is considered day-to-day. Foye Oluokun, besides it, unless there's any setbacks, I should say, is expected to come back. We've got Mason Smith actually has a foot injury. Whether he actually had that before the last game or not, I don't know. Weird stuff going on there. Crap, I just had it pulled up and There it is. Yeah, ETN day-to-day with a hamstring. Aziz Odomewo is questionable. Cam Robinson cleared concussion protocol, unfortunately, today. Andrew Wingard has been elevated to start his return, and Mason Smith is currently hurt. He's questionable. Hopefully he plays, but that's really it for us right now. Tayshaun Gibson, still no update on him. League's being a bunch of bitches, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay. For the Titans, newly added Jerome Baker is questionable as he's a limited participant through practice. Jalen Duncan, right tackle, out. L'Jarius Sneed, out. Will Levis, Tajay Spears, Trevondre Sweat, and Jarvis Brownlee are all questionable. And then Cedric Gray, the rookie linebacker, is also out. Everybody else seems to be having a pretty good bill of health there. I mean, with all the trades that the Titans are doing, there's just no way. There's just no way. Let's go ahead and pivot into that game real quick, just to kind of get that out of the way. All right. Lions, as I mentioned at the top, are 11-point favorites over the Titans. The Titans no longer have DeAndre Hopkins. They sent Ernest Jones to the Seattle Seahawks for Jerome Baker and a 4th-round draft pick. They get a conditional 5th-round draft pick for DeAndre Hopkins. It becomes a 4th round if he catches so many passes or plays so many downs. I don't think they're done making moves. They come out here and lay an absolute egg. There's going to be some more moves made. There's been rumors of Harold Landry, Jeff Simmons, Arden Key, Tyler Boyd, Chigakonkwo, potentially, obviously Traylon Burks. But anybody who's on a 1-year deal, they're looking at moving.
They'd be hard pressed to get rid of Traylon.
Well, yeah, they probably would package him in as like a 7th-round draft pick with like in another deal instead of sending a 7th. They're like, we'll throw in Traylon.
No, you'll give us literally anything. Thank you.
Do you have a half-drink can of soda near you? Perfect. All right, send that, and we'll send Traylon. Yeah, there's just not a lot of hope right now for Tennessee. I don't think that Will Levis is going to play. He's got a grade 2 AC joint sprain, and when they started him 2 weeks ago, you could tell that he did not have full power and range of motion in his throwing arm, and I think that's a big reason why his performance against the Colts was so lackluster. Then Mason Rudolph comes in, and everybody's kind of like, "Oh, well, maybe it's not just them." Yeah, good God, buddy, what are you? You just open up the Bible or something?
I opened up a tab in a browser, and it just like,
oh, yeah. The Holy Grail. Yes,
everything should have dark mode.
yeah. StreamYard. But the Titans are given no favorites here. No, nothing. Like nobody in Vegas is giving them even the slightest bit of hope. An 11-point dog, though, like that's the biggest dog of the year so far. And I feel like the second closest dog, like, beat the spread. I think that happens this week. I think the Titans find a way to not beat the Lions, but beat the spread. And that's, Titans fans, how you're going to have a good week this week. I think this game is a lot closer than it should be. I think Jared Goff, who has been playing absolutely lights out football in the last 4 games, I think this is somehow, some way, the game that the defense gives a quarterback fits. I'm not saying we're going to Jared Goff from like rookie year or whatever, or like that last year in LA where they binged him for like Wofford in the playoff game. But 27-24 Lions. This game has no reason to be this close. But I think because they're not given a shot, I think that's exactly why it'll be this close. 27-24 is my score prediction. Who wants to go next? Lions winning.
27-24.
Lions, yes.
I don't see it being anywhere close, even with like the whole trap game narrative. And, I get what you're saying and I know why you're doing it, but I just can't bring myself to do it. I have absolutely zero faith
I'll die on
in
this
this
hill by
Tennessee
myself.
Titans team. And it's fine. You were going to anyways. I don't have any faith in this Tennessee Titans team. The Lions have been playing really good football, especially whenever the refs don't call obvious face masks and, against people they're playing and other stuff that happens. Just kidding. It wasn't them. I'm just salty about that one because, the refs have been terrible this year for everybody. Not saying they've been winning games for anybody, but they've been terrible this year completely. Anyways, I don't think any amount of ref magic, I don't even, could save the Titans from this one. I think they're going to have a bad loss, and I think they're going to sell some more. And I'd love to see it because I fucking hate the Titans. So, I'm thinking like Lions 47.
Sheesh.
To Titans like 13.
Sheesh.
Actually, hold on. Yeah, 13. That's 3 field goals. No, 2 field goals? It's 2 field goals and a touchdown. Yeah, I'll give it to him.
Okay. Jeffrey?
It was never the Titans.
It was
Lions by 40.
Lions 40.
I'm going 49-9. 3 field goals.
Actually,
I have no faith in the Titans doing anything in this game. I know they've had a good defense, one of if not the top ranked defense, but they just haven't faced the weapons that the Detroit Lions have either. I mean, they're playing at the top of their game right now. I don't see Tennessee having a shot in this one. They could also fuck around somehow and win this like they have random games in the past, but I don't see it.
Yeah. So actually though, you think it's actually going to be 49-9? All right, 49.
Take it, baby.
Take it to the bank. All right, look.
Please don't bet on it based on what I'm saying though. I don't want to be responsible for your money.
Bet on it based on what he's saying. Do it.
All right, look. Let's go. Packers, Jags, Isaiah. Let's hear about your team, and then let's get into some ways to win.
I mean it's going to be a beautiful day in Duval. Not every day is a beautiful day in Duval. I'm not scared to admit that. That's the words I was looking for that come out of my mouth. I mean, Green Bay's coming in. Jacksonville's getting some key players back. We've got Tyson Campbell back. He's going to be better in his second game back from his injury. Should be. We got Savage. We've got Foye coming back potentially. Having Ventrell, Devin Lloyd, and Foye Aluakan and seeing who plays where and how much playing time each of them get, that's a good problem to have. Really keep those guys fresh. They're all 3 great linebackers in this league. Defensive line played a little better last game in terms of stopping the ball. The Patriots couldn't move the fucking ball at all on the ground. This could be a day where Jordan Love goes off, but we all know Jordan Love loves to throw 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. So if we could force some turnovers, I think we could probably capitalize. We've been terrible this year at forcing turnovers, so we'll see. But I think this is going to be
a first half turnover machine.
Absolutely. And I think if we can get out to a lead and play like we did last week, where we were able to run the ball and move the ball 19 plays in a row and run that fucking clock, I think we'll be fine. This is a tough one, though, of course. I think we're going to I think Jordan Love may run rampant, but I think we're going to lock up Josh Jacobs. That's his name. I think this is going to be a similar week like last week with Ramondre Stevens. I think we're going to be able to shut him down, but I don't think we're going to be able to stop Jordan Love through the air. They just have a really talented receiving core, but we're kind of, like I said, we're getting back to our healthy defense. So we'll see what this defense should have been and could have been, from the beginning of the year versus what we've been seeing on the field every week. But I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a better game than a lot of people think it's going to be in terms of like Jacksonville shaping up against the Packers. Ways to win. keep Trevor Lawrence healthy. The Packers have a crazy blitzing defense. They do a lot of blitzing, but they only bring 4 typically. But they do a lot of, dropping the D end and sending the safety from the opposite side, corner blitzes, linebacker blitzes, doing stunts with a linebacker and a lineman. They got a couple great guys on their side of the football that can really get after the quarterback. Jair Alexander, I mean, he's a little midget. I think BTJ is going to have a great day against him. 6'3", 6'4", 215 pounds versus 6 foot or 5'10", 195 or something like that. Whatever Jair is, he's got relatively close speed, but I think BTJ is going to have a solid day. And I mean, if he doesn't come out of this game with at least 10 targets, I think we lose. So I think they're going to be expecting us to pound the ball with Tank Bigsby. And I think we're just going to be able to open it up, get the run going a little bit, and then just hit them down the field on play actions, different stuff. Defense, got to keep the ball in front of us, got to shut down Josh Jacobs, force Jordan Love to make those error throws that he loves to make. Because the thing about Jordan Love is he's a great quarterback. He's really talented. Yeah, he's going to try and force the ball in there because he knows his arm can make any throw, whatever. Similar to what Trevor does, but Trevor's been a little more conservative this year comparatively. And I think they play a similar style of they're going to throw 20 touchdowns. They're also going to throw 15 to 17 interceptions. But I think Jordan Love's on a higher track this year, of course. But I think they'll force some interceptions early and shake his confidence a little bit, but he's going to keep slinging it. So we've got to stop the underneath stuff and make them go deep, and hopefully our safeties can make some good plays. But yeah, that's kind of it. Keep the ball in front of us, and on offense, just set it up and give BTJ the ball and let Tank Bigsby do his thing.
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll agree with a lot of what Isaiah said. The way the Jaguars went. Jesus Christ. I wanted to say Jacksonville Jaguars and it came out in one word.
Jaguars.
The way the Jags win, I'll just say Jags, is getting the running game going, protecting Trevor Lawrence. You got to feed Bigsby. I mean, damn, he had a great game, and then they pretty much took him out of the next game. So got to get him going. I think he's a better, running back than ETN. I think ETN's a little better in the passing game, but got to get Bigsby going on the ground. And, of course, protect Trevor Lawrence. I think the Packers, they have a pretty good secondary. They held C.J. Stroud to 86 yards?
Yeah.
So that's not bad. So that's a good day for them. I think they have 4 or 5 sacks on them, too. Jaguars line, they've been inconsistent. They've had some really good games and some really bad games. So, like what Isaiah was saying, just they got to protect them. They run some different kind of blitzes, different kind of unique looks, I guess. So just got to keep Trevor Lawrence protected, which they've shown a history of struggling. And I don't think this will be a blowout by any means, but I do think the Packers will win. Probably a close one, I'm going to say 24-21.
Okay. Isaiah, did you give a score prediction?
Oh, no, I did not. Jaguars 28, Green Bay 21.
Gotta respect him. He's always believing in his squad. Even when a lot of people in the fan base seem to be kind of not believing as much, Isaiah believes.
I mean, we were 7-1 last year, and people weren't believing. I don't really care what the fan base says.
Valid. By the way, the Packers are a 4-point favorite here, 49.5 point over under. I think you're absolutely right that one of the biggest things is getting the run game going. However, I think the absolute paramount thing is giving Trevor Lawrence time to throw. I don't know exactly what that is going to have to take the form of to make sure that he can do that. Because a lot of there were a lot of snaps against Green Bay where they've got 7-8 people on the line of scrimmage and dropping back a few. Minnesota does the same thing. You saw, what was that, last Thursday night? not this Thursday night, or it was last Sunday night or something, where the Jets and the crap, was that the Vikings this last week? Sunday Night Football?
No, Vikings was yesterday.
I know, but last week.
Last week. Was that Vikings Jets?
Felt like
no, Vikings have lost 2 in a row. It was Jets.
Yeah. That was like 2 weeks ago in London.
Yeah.
3. Yeah. Anyway, there was a Andrew Van Ginkel interception, pick 6, where Minnesota's doing the exact same thing, and that's why they gave Houston's offensive line so many fits. The benefit that Jacksonville has is they're able to watch those games, watch what they were able to do to Houston, and learn from it. I mean, Green Bay's been doing this pretty much all year anyway, so I guess it's not just because of Houston, but you're getting to see firsthand what happens if you don't get to protect your quarterback against these teams. And it's not good. It's not good if you don't keep him upright. I mean, CJ was pressured on 49% of his snaps, so, and they only blitzed 15% of the time. 4. This is a ferocious defense. Phenomenal job of that this season, of just generally playing pretty clean. But you're going to need that to continue, and you're going to need what. It was like 2 weeks in a row there where the Jaguars were not allowing anybody to touch Trevor Lawrence, essentially. Was it the Texans game and the following game?
Yeah, and then this past game.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's definitely the Colts didn't get to him either.
Texans, then was it Texans, then Colts? Yes. Yes, Texans, Colts, Bears. We had a bad game blocking, and then we had a really good game again versus
New England.
That's the team we played.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, look, that's my ways to win. I think this game's going to be high scoring. I'd love to see a high scoring game here anyway, but 34-31, I've got the pack. I mean, it just depends on if the Jaguars defense can finally get some stops against like a higher caliber team. Anyway. Jeff, you want to talk about the Colts?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yes.
It was a really good game between the Colts and the Texans week 1. And the Colts missed some really big plays that would have put them over the top. They missed, Anthony Richardson. He's had accuracy struggles this year. It's no secret, but he looked solid in that game. He was up and down, but he made some excellent throws. There's that beautiful one to Alec Pierce that had like 70 air yards under it. It was an incredible throw. And then he overthrew it on Mitchell on another gimme touchdown. Mitchell was wide open, just overthrew it. So he was a couple throws away from beating the Texans in week 1. And the other thing is, I think Shane Steichen's got to be a lot more consistent with play calling. Alex on Unstable talked about it before, I guess, our previous episode about Trey Sermon. We're in the red zone. He had 3 rushes of more than 5 yards. And then for some reason, Shane was like, no, we're going to run it with AR twice and then a bad pass play and settle for 3. So he's not really riding the hot hand. He's fixing something that isn't broken. So if it's working, stick with it. Same thing with Jonathan Taylor. I can't remember. I don't remember if it was against the Texans or the next game where he didn't see the field in the fourth quarter, which made absolutely no sense. And unless if you're getting blown out or whatever, you should never take out your number 1 player. So keep him in there. Jonathan Taylor, this offense has got to run through him. I mean, he's had almost a month off now to get healthy. He should be full steam ahead. Colts offensive line is one of the best lines in football. You got to lean on your strengths, and that's something I think that Shane Steichen hasn't done a lot of. He's done it at times, but he hasn't again stuck with it. So lean on your line, run the ball with Jonathan Taylor. He's shown that he can have success against the Texans. He didn't have like a career day against him week 1, but he had a decent day. But they're going to need to control the clock. If the Texans have the ball for 40 minutes, you're not going to win. So that can't happen again. I would like to see it the opposite way, but Anthony Richardson and the Colts have to show that they can sustain drives. They've gotten turnovers and have had 3 and outs right after it, so they've got to capitalize on those mistakes. And at the very least, at least get a first down or 2 and then punt. Just you can't go 3 and out and put your defense right back on the field. That's not doing any favors to anybody. So Anthony Richardson's going to have to make better decisions. I at least want him to see like 55 to 60%. That's really all I'm asking completion-wise. And in a couple of these games, if he had done that, they probably would have won. So, yeah, I mean, it's lean on Jonathan Taylor. And, of course, defensively, get after C.J. Stroud. He's shown that when he's under duress, that he's not great. I mean, just take the last week's game, and it wasn't pretty. It was a little bit worse than Anthony Richardson was against the Dolphins. I mean, he put up 100-something yards, so it was marginally worse. But the whole scheme of things, of course, C.J. Stroud's had the better start to his career. But last week kind of showed that C.J. Stroud can be rattled if you get to him. So with Buckner back, he's a handful. Kwity Paye's there. Latu, he's had a couple of sacks this year. Like to see a little bit more from him, but I'm so tired of Gus Bradley bringing 4. If it's working, then yeah, stick with it. But it hasn't been. Like they were awful with pressures in that Jacksonville game. A little bit better the next game, but not by much. I really want to see some more creativity from him. I really want to see them get after C.J. Stroud. And frickin' A, Mixon cannot have the day that he had week 1. Like, that's got to be the Colts' primary focus, is shutting that down. Get in the backfield. If C.J. Stroud beats you, then he beats you. But I want to see them make he's got to be the guy that's highlighted, circled, underlined. You can't let him run over you like he did week 1. Otherwise, it's just going to be a rinse and repeat of week 1. And I'm going to be at the game. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
But I think I called it a close game when I did my score prediction on Unstable. I believe I said 23-20. I'm not going to change it because the last time I did, I was right originally. So I'm gonna stick with it. 23-20 Colts.
All right, Isaiah.
I think this is an interesting one because we've seen C.J. Stroud do decent under pressure in the past, and then we've seen what happened last week. My biggest thing for this game is I don't think the Colts defense is anywhere near what the Green Bay Packers defense is. Not only do they not have anywhere close to the equivalent secondary, they also do not have any sort of exotic blitzing. I mean, Gus Bradley, when he sends 3 or 4, he's sending 3 or 4, and they're lining up and they're going in whatever gap they're lined up in. Don't really see a lot of switching and safeties and linebackers, and I don't know. This one's tough for me. I think C.J. Stroud's going to have a decent day. I think Joe Mixon, he's had in every game he's finished, he's had over 100 yards rushing, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's having a great year so far this year. It's just hard for me to take the Colts in this one. I think it is going to be the Texans. Now, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a blowout. I'm thinking like 31-24. Texans win that one. It's just going to be kind of hard for me to get behind this Colts team right now. Now, they could surprise me. They do have a really great offensive line. The Texans' pass rush may not match up as well against them as they do against other teams, but it also could be a day where the Texans pass rush just blows past them and doesn't have an issue. I do think this is going to be a battle of which quarterback can play cleaner football. But I think CJ Stroud's going to have a much better opportunity with play cleaner football with just how vanilla the defense is from Gus Bradley. And I think that's honestly the biggest thing holding back the Colts this season and last season even is just how easy their defense is to read. I mean, last year they were putting pressure out there, but everybody was healthy. They were doing their thing. This year, I'm just not seeing what I need to see to say that they're going to go toe-to-toe with the Texans this week. And I hate to say it because I want the Texans to lose a division game. But but I just can't put any faith in the Colts this time.
I forgot to bring up Grant last week, or I guess last Sunday's game. Grant Stewart had a great game, and there was some dumbass in one of these Colts forums that went on to Twitter, told EJ Speed, because EJ Speed got knocked out of the game, said, "Hey, Grant Stewart should be starting over you," and EJ Speed blocked him on X. It's like, you fucking idiot. It's like, yeah, and everyone in the comments, yeah, I'd have blocked you too. Grant Stewart did have a great day. He had, I think, 11 solos, 7 assists, so he had 18 tackles. Like, he had a really good game. But should he be starting over Speed? No.
Yeah.
Like, just block. I'm not even going to respond to that stupid shit.
Well, first
I
off,
think he made a case for more reps, but
yeah, Stewart should probably be getting some more reps. If not, like at EJ Speed's position, it's somewhere in the linebacker room.
Yeah.
They could probably find some play for him. Isaiah, you stole my score. I had the exact same thing on the Texans pod last night, and then I was going to say the same thing tonight, but fuck it, we're just going to twin on that one.
Hey, I'm down with it. Hey, honestly, I think it's a good score.
I mean, you're both going to be wrong, so it's all right.
Well, I mean, you're not going to be right, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah,
yeah, I was right last week. I just changed it.
Yeah,
I just changed it. Just a little bit.
I just upped it by 7 points. That's all.
So look,
got a little greedy. Didn't work out. That's okay.
It's all right.
the Texans' ways to win is pretty simple, in my opinion. When it comes to the Colts running the ball, do exactly what you did the first game on stopping Jonathan Taylor. He had 16 rushes for 46 yards. I'll take that every game. I'll take that every day of the week. Last week, Josh Jacobs had 11 carries for 76. So we've shown some regression there. We can't allow Jonathan Taylor to get rolling. This is his first game back from injury in like 3. So he's going to be hot. He's going to be ready to go.
It's been 3 weeks, so it'll be, I guess, technically 4 weeks when the game starts. So, but yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, look, Jonathan Taylor is, when healthy, one of the best backs in this league. And the game plan is always to shut him down. With the addition of Danico Autry and a couple of these linebackers being out, Aziz and potentially Henry T, you got to rely on Neville Hewitt, Jake Hansen, and newcomer Devin White to come in and hold it down while some of these guys are out. Is it possible? Yes. Neville Hewitt played pretty good football last week against the Packers. Had a 43-yard interception return after Jalen Petrie tipped the ball to him and led the team in tackles, I believe, with 11. So, he wasn't perfect. There were some things I'm sure he wants back, but he stepped in and as a career special teams player led an NFL team in tackles. To hang your hat on, even if like that's his most high crowning achievement. Beyond that, you've got to make Anthony Richardson doubt seeing. D'Amico Ryans and the defensive staff are pretty good at occasionally throwing some curveballs into what the quarterback's looking at. And Anthony Richardson's played probably still less than 30 games at this point. And he's not looking amazing in any of them. He's had a couple pretty good games against the Texans. But we shall see. The first game
played 23 3/4 and 6 plays, but who's counting?
The first game, Jimmy Ward was available, but consistently going for a hit rather than trying to swat a pass, and that was a couple of those big long that Alec Pierce had, and Kalen Bullock was rarely on the field. When he got his first career interception. Will probably be starting in place of Jimmy Ward this week, and we'll see Eric Murray kind of a little bit. With Kamari Lassiter back and Derek Stingley playing great football, I'm not necessarily worried about the Colts receiving core at the moment or Anthony Richardson beating us through the air. It is Jonathan Taylor and the read option running game that I think are the most dangerous things that the Colts bring to the table. So you keep an athletic linebacker as a spy, aka Devin White, on Anthony Richardson, and then you keep Jalen Petrie and another linebacker on Jonathan Taylor at all times. If you do that, I think you win this game. It doesn't even matter if you get pressure on Anthony Richardson. I mentioned it here in the Texans pod. He's just way more athletic than Roethlisberger when it comes to getting sacked. He can either make you miss, or he's just big enough to where you're just not going to be able to bring him down quite as easily as some of these other guys. Like what's brain damage in Miami?
Tua.
I mean, at this point, just a strong breeze is going to give Tua another concussion. So, but Anthony Richardson, as stout as they come, it's usually the ground that ends up hurting his ass. With that being said, like I said, Isaiah stole my score. 31-24. Houston is what I got. I think this game's going to be another banger. Honestly, I mean, the first one was a pretty solid game. And that's what you've come to expect from these AFC South games, even in years where both of these teams are shit. And that's not this year, but even in years where that's the case, these games are usually pretty damn good. So buckle up, folks. This is going to be the crowning the thing, the cherry on top.
There's
the thing.
There's two things for the Colts. It's if they fall to 0-2 to the Texans, winning the division is unless if the Texans collapse, is almost out of the picture.
Yeah.
At 0-2. So for that reason, I mean, obviously it's I guess you could say every game is a must win, but this kind of a little more emphasis on that. And the other thing I hope is that the Texans don't forget what Alec Pierce did and they focus more on him. And that kind of leaves the ground game a little more open for Jonathan Taylor. Like, I hope he gets that little extra attention that gives Jonathan Taylor an extra step or two.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely possible. You get burned so many times by the same guy, you're eventually going to try to adjust.
Unless you're Gus Bradley.
All right. Well, look, that's pretty much it. I do have this one last topic. Freak athletes. I'm going to throw some names out here. You tell me freak athlete or just really good at the craft. Michael Jordan.
Sexual deviant.
Well, probably.
Oh, sorry. Freak in the sheet. Freak athlete.
Freak in the sheets. Jadeveon Clowney.
Freak athlete.
Yeah.
Freak athlete. Yeah. LeBron James.
I don't care. I'm still saying freak athlete.
Yeah.
I think he's good at the craft.
I think he's good at the craft. Yeah.
I mean, he's big, and he can move and play technically all the positions. But does that really make him a freak athlete or just really good at basketball?
I think with how long he's been doing it, I think he's a freak athlete.
I guess. Didn't Michael Jordan play it?
I mean, I wouldn't really just longevity doesn't make you a freak athlete either. I mean, I wouldn't say that Tom Brady was a freak athlete. He's just really good at the craft. Same thing with Peyton Manning.
Yeah, but basketball, I'd say they're really basketball is a lot more of an individual contributor sport than football. Like,
true.
True.
Yeah, it's not like LeBron has Anthony Davis out there like blocking people in front of him, and then him, just like.
Yeah,
I think the fact that man could still jump out of the gym and dunk at 42 years old, and
he's 40. Yeah,
40. I mean, still, he might as well be 70. I don't know. It's hard to say he's not how big, fast, athletic, and I don't know. I think he's a freak athlete that became really good at basketball because he came into the league. He couldn't shoot worth a shit, but he could fucking jump over anybody and dunk. And then now he can actually shoot and do all the other things.
Yeah, but that's just big guy stuff. You know what I mean? Like in basketball, if you're a big dude and can do big guy things, you're going to stick around for a minute. He perfected the craft and got better at the game as he stuck around. You know what I mean? Like he could always do big guy stuff and dunk because he's 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", whatever the hell it is. And at his heaviest during COVID, he was allegedly 275. At his head.
I don't believe that, but
At his lightest, he's 250. Is what they're saying. The interwebs. So, like, I get the idea that he could be a freak athlete, but to me, freak athleticism is like somebody who's so damn athletic that they could be like generational player at the specific position. So, like, Nate Robinson's a freak athlete, 5'8" and can dunk. The fuck? Clowney, obviously. I'm trying to think of other guys who were freak athletes. Barry Sanders.
I would even say, I think, what was his name out of Iowa? Cooper DeJean, corner. Like he played multiple sports.
all right.
I mean,
let's not get into that one. Just because he's white and can play corner in the NFL does not make him a freak athlete.
That makes him a freak athlete.
We've had Christian McCaffrey for years, and we want to act like Cooper DeJean is some fucking unicorn, okay?
Yeah.
If Christian McCaffrey played corner, he'd be the exact same guy, just sooner and whiter.
Just saying, he was good at basketball, and he's a corner. There's not a lot of white corners in the NFL.
No. I'm trying to think of other freak athletes that have come into the league.
Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon, yeah, good example.
9.99 RAS score.
I mean, I kind of going back to the old school, but J.J. Watt was ridiculous too. And that dude had a retarded physical, like what was it, vertical jump? Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
like I saw some of his workout videos. It was like, there's no way this big dude should be moving like that.
That's true. JJ was a freak athlete as well.
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett, freak athlete.
Nice guy too. He was, Mason.
Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis is a freak athlete.
Jordan Davis,
the D tackle for the Eagles from Georgia, who ran like a 4.4 something at the combine, 300 something pounds.
Yeah,
that dude's a freak. Has it translated? Not yet, but he's a freak.
Yeah. And that's part of it. Sometimes the freak athletes are just really athletic and not very good at the craft. And then sometimes their body completely deteriorates and you don't really even get to see how good at the craft they really are. AKA Jadeveon Clowney. Tore his ACL rookie year, blew out like a meniscus his second year, and he's not been the same kind of athlete he ever was in South Carolina. So that's to me, like, freak athletes, their body just kind of deteriorates pretty fast. So you'll find a freak athlete like what was the guy before Worthy who ran the fastest 40 time? Ross?
Oh yeah. Not Justin.
Well, I know what you're talking about.
We all know what you're talking about.
He got drafted and I believe in the first round because he could run fast.
Yeah. What was it, Josh Gordon? That dude was a freak athlete too. He just
couldn't stop smoking weed.
Couldn't stop.
Hold up.
Know the pain. Yep. Well, look, if we're wrong about freak athletes, hit us in the comments.
Oh, no.
I assume that somebody's gonna be like, "This guy's retarded for talking about LeBron James not being a freak athlete." That's fine. Hit me in the comments.
Yeah, he is, but that has nothing to do with the freak athlete talk. Okay. So what if he likes WWE at 32 years old? Leave him alone.
Not 32 yet, but point made.
Hey, I'm 36 and I enjoy too. Fuck off.
You're 36?
Yeah.
Jesus, I didn't know Dust was that young.
I'm a little dusty.
What was Jesus like?
What was
short.
Jesus?
Really short.
And you think he was
a lot shorter.
Oh god.
And his abilities were a lot more exaggerated than they actually were.
What?
Got to throw in the Family Guy reference.
Oh yeah. Look, good spot to go ahead and wrap this up, y'all. You guys have any closing comments?
Yeah, go Colts. If you see me, I'm going to be wearing this every time I've worn this. The Colts have won, so I'm going to be wearing it on game day. So if you see me, holler, talk some shit. I don't care.
It really sucks that you're gonna have to lose that. You should have not wear that shirt on Sunday.
I'm wearing it Sunday. It's my good luck shirt. Like I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little
It's a little
stitious.
suspicious. Yeah.
A little stitious.
Yeah. Go Jags.
Go Texans.
Go Colts.
Like I said at the top of the show, go ahead and like and subscribe on this channel. We're at 534. Like to see that growing. Head on over to the team specific pods, That Real Texas Team Podcast, Third and Teal, Unstable, and Titans Takeaways. Like and subscribe on all of those. But mostly, be good people and go Texans.
Go Colts. Go Colts.